Andorra Dating Guide advises how to pick up Andorran girls and how to hook up with local women in Andorra. Travel, enjoy and have fun with hot single girls, and you might even meet the love of your life. Andorra is a special country for many reasons. Firstly, it is what is called a microstate, as the size of the country is really small. With an area of just 468 square kilometers, Andorra is the sixth smallest country in Europe. The second reason why Andorra can be considered special is that it is a landlocked country, which means it is surrounded by countries on all sides. Some of the neighboring countries of Andorra include France and Spain. Located in the Iberian Peninsula, Andorra can be a pretty exciting destination to visit, and tourism makes up for the majority of the country's economy. The entire country has a population of approximately 77,000 people only, which means you shouldn't keep your expectations high when it comes to meeting a local girl and hooking up with her. However, the country is visited by more than 10 million tourists every year, which means you're far more likely to run into hot tourists rather than the local girls here. While the official language of the country is Catalan, the girls here also speak Spanish, Portuguese, and French. That means most of the local girls here will not be able to understand English fluently, and you can expect there to be a language barrier definitely when it comes to talking to the girls here. While you can find some stunners in the country, the small population also means there is a smaller population of hot girls too. Fortunately, to make up for that, you can find a large population of tourists throughout the year in Andorra. The tourists come from all parts of the world, but mostly from other European countries like France and Spain. You can expect to spend as much time with the tourists as with the locals during your time here, as most of the hot girls you'll run into will be tourists exploring the city. The local girls usually have a mixture of European features. Most of them are brunettes, but you'll also see a few blondes here and there. They are usually not very tall and have decent, natural-looking bodies. Most of the tourists who come here are usually French and Spanish, and thus, you'll find a lot of French and Spanish girls during your time here who have a slightly different look from the local girls here. The local girls can be described as pretty. They usually watch their weight and live a healthy lifestyle, which only makes them radiate. However, as previously mentioned, there aren't a lot of hotties to be found in Andorra simply because of the low population. Most of the girls are usually open to getting approached if they can understand you. They're used to meeting tourists from different countries and are usually polite to them. Some of them may not turn you down simply because they do not understand a word you're speaking. However, the ones that do understand you will mostly be nice to you. As for the tourists, these girls are usually looking for something casual and fun and are open to meeting new people as they are traveling. Picking up girls can be both easy and tricky in a country like Andorra. It is simple to pick up girls here because there is a certain geographical restriction when it comes to where the hot girls are located. The capital of the country, Andorra la Vella, has a population of approximately 22,000 people, which makes up for around 30% of the country's entire population, and most of the local hot girls would be found here. It can, however, also be tricky to pick up girls here due to a number of reasons, such as the language barrier. The best girls to pick up in Andorra just might be the tourists, as they're usually looking for casual fun and open to more adventures than the local girls. While it is possible to find dating opportunities in Andorra, it can be hard to pick up the local girls here. Most of them are either already in committed relationships, are married, or unattractive. What that means is that while there are attractive girls who you can hook up with, most of the girls wouldn't be interested in you. The chance of picking up a tourist, however, is pretty high. You meet plenty of French and Spanish girls here and hook up with them, but when it comes to the local girls, you'll have to work very hard to pick them up. Andorra is famous for its shopping across the world, especially duty-free shopping, and thus malls and areas near the big stores are the best places to game during the day. There is never any shortage of quality girls walking around these areas all through the year, both locals and tourists. The best city for meeting girls during the day is Andorra la Vella, and famous malls and shopping centers in the city can be excellent places to talk to girls. Since most of them wouldn't be able to understand English, knowing a few words of the local language can be helpful in approaching them. One of the best ways to open a girl here is to ask for recommendations for shopping. You can start a conversation by telling them you're looking to buy something for your sister and ask them to help you out. You can take the conversation from there, and if you do things right, you can definitely get some numbers and dating prospects you can hit up later. When it comes to meeting tourists, another good idea is to ask them to go on an adventure exploring the city with you. Andorra might be small, but it is extremely scenic and can be the perfect setting for a budding romance. The chance of picking up girls during the daytime is decent in Andorra. However, most of the girls you'll approach will likely be tourists visiting from France and Spain instead of the local girls, which is a good thing because girls who are traveling are more likely to be open to having a fling with you than the local girls here. The chances of hooking up with a girl here at nighttime are pretty good actually. Most of the girls you'll meet here will be tourists who are looking for something fun, so that makes it much easier to pick up girls here, and the local girls will also be willing to get approached at least and see how you are. The nightlife, in general, isn't the best in the world, but you can have a decent time as there are a lot of bars, pubs, and nightclubs in the country. Most of them are located in the capital city, so it would be advised to stick to Andorra la Vella if you're looking to game during the night. It is also a good idea to book your accommodation near the best nightclubs in the city. That's all for today. Please don't forget to comment and do hit like, share, and subscribe. It really helps a lot for YouTube algorithms.